Hello and welcome to the 5 Minute Film Club. Quantum of Solace kicks off during the aftermath of Casino Royale, with James Bond involved in a high-pursuit car chase across the Italian countryside. The people after him want Mr. White, the man he wounded at the end of the last film and just shoved in his boot. While White is being interrogated about his part in the crime organisation Quantum, he tells M and Bond that they have people everywhere, at which point M's bodyguard Mitchell attacks M and tries to kill her, but Bond defends her and gives chase and eventually kills him. However, an injured Mr. White manages to escape. While uncovering Mitchell's involvement in Quantum, they find a lead to Haiti called Edmund Slate, and Bond goes out to find him. Slate, Bond discovers, is in fact a hitman with a contract to kill Camille Montez, a contract ordered by her lover Dominic Green, who works for Quantum as their forger and is currently working with an exiled Bolivian general to arrange a coup in the country so that he can become leader. However, Green is also some sort of environmental capitalist. I don't really know what Dominic Green is doing in this film. I've watched it now a few times, and there's a lot of things to do with this film that I just don't know what is going on. I'll get to why in a bit, but yeah. Anyway, at the performance of Tosca, the world terrorist and Spectre stand-in organisation Quantum are holding their annual AGM via little earpieces. When they learn that someone is eavesdropping, that someone being James Bond, they each in turn leave the theatre, letting Bond take photos of them and relaying that information back to M and Tanner. One of the people there is British PM's advisor Guy Haynes, played by the late, great Paul Ritter, and when his bodyguard falls from the roof, a la The Spy Who Loved Me, it causes a diplomatic problem for MI6, and M has no choice but to stop his movements. However, he teams up once again with Mathis, who manages to get Bond and Camille close to Green, and learn that Green, in exchange with the General, has acquired which they are using to dam the water supply, creating a monopoly on fresh water. Again? This is really confusing and I don't understand it. But still, while Green and the General sign their paperwork, Bond and Camille infiltrate Green's complex, and Camille gets to take out the General while Bond interrogates Dominic about Quantum. Getting what he needs of Green, Bond leaves him in the middle of the desert with a can of oil to quench his thirst, and sets off to Russia to find Vesper's former lover Yusuf, who he learns used Vesper to gain access to her MI6 connections by pretending to fall in love with her, something that he does quite regularly for Quantum. Bond, however, doesn't kill Yusuf, and instead turns him over to MI6 for questioning, and when M asks him to come back to work for her, he just informs her that he has never left. Now, Quantum of Solace is the first direct sequel to a Bond film that we've had in the series. From Russia with Love had elements from Dr. No in it at the very start, and then that's all kind of jettisoned, but here we have an immediate continuation from the end, with Mr. White getting pulled out of the boot. I actually really enjoy the opening of this film. It's really confusing to be dropped into that car chase, but I like the fact when he opens up the boot and then we go into the credits. I actually like this song, even though it's truncated in the opening. I don't mind Another Way to Die. There's bits of it that are a bit iffy, but as a Bond theme and as a Daniel Craig Bond theme, I really like this rock element that they brought into Casino Royale and to Quantum of Solace. While Casino Royale was so well thought out and plotted, this one unfortunately is a bit of a mess story-wise. While the script was being written, it was really hampered by a massive writer's strike, and so the bulk of the film had to be worked out while the cameras actually were rolling. While filming, Craig said that he realised that the script just wasn't up to scratch and they wouldn't be able to kind of pull it all together. So he decided to, hit the gym and to work out as much as he could and to do as many of the stunts as he could. So he really did throw himself into the film, so at least the audience would believe him as James Bond, even if there were hiccups in the story. Now, I've seen Quantum of Solace 3 times, and honestly, it does get better each time you watch it. I like the fact that it doesn't hang around. It is run at a breakneck pace. As I said, even the opening title song is reduced and cut. They have no time in this film. You just need to strap in and try and pick up the bits of the story that you can. You have these action sequences again that are very visceral. I love the chase sequences at the start. I just think this film gets a bad rap for being not as good as Casino Royale. And Casino Royale is like the best Bond film in my mind, so I'm not even expecting this to get to that level. I think Daniel Craig is still amazing. That's the main thing about this film. You watch it for him and his commitment to the character. Now, the bits that I don't like, aside from the ropey script, and really confusing storyline, or why I should be interested in it. I don't know why I should be invested in any of the villain's plans. You know, he's damming some water. It's just really weird, I think, the actual motivations for the Bond villain in this film. And also I get the sense that a lot was cut out, a lot of the exposition to do with Quantum and its relationship to the British government and all those kind of things are just cut. And I feel like they thought, well, it's too confusing when it's at a long length, so let's just cut this down so it runs really fast, and, you know, maybe in the next film we'll explain about Quantum a bit more. I feel like that is what they were going for. Let's just get this film done. We can't sit on this any longer. Cut it, get it out. We'll work it out next film. And that next film, I think they were anticipating that Skyfall or whatever the next Bond film was going to come out really quickly. That you'd have a trilogy of films and that Quantum would only be the middle chapter of a 3-chapter arc. But, however, MGM once again had some quite sizable financial issues to deal with. But anyway, that's enough about what happens next. Quantum of Solace isn't bad. I don't find it as boring as Tomorrow Never Dies, or as offensive as something like Never Say Never Again. I think the performances are still good. I think the visuals are really good. Again, it doesn't think of itself as more than it is, and that's always a win in my book. If you've got a film that is on slightly dodgy grounds to start with, just make it enjoyable, make it really quick and fast for the audience, and yeah, so I appreciate that about Quantum of Solace. But you'll have to join me next week to hear my thoughts about Skyfall, the 50th anniversary celebration of James Bond from 2012. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!